So one of you asked for the stenophagous predator. So here I think I have explained with giving the example of the syrphids. Okay, the syrphid in the immature stages, they are the predators. So that means they only feed on the selected group. So that means aphids are their target. Okay, so that is what it is called as a stenophagous. So these insects, whatever the predators which are behaving or which are stenophagous, their food mainly preference is for the only particular group of the insects. So Aphididae is a particular group the syrphids are preferring. If you look into the coccinellids, okay, we have the coccinellids which feed only on the mealybug species and which feed only on the aphid species. So they have only selection. Like what in human beings also you'll find it. We eat only particular food. If you are a vegetarian, we are not preferring the other. Even whatever exists, we will not go for that. So that means I eat only this means I eat this only. In that condition, that is the meaning of the stenophagous. Did you got it? Monophagous means, I think so I have given you the example as the Rhodalia cardinalis. Rhodalia cardinalis means it feeds only on the one particular species. Okay, Aiceria purchasei, that is a cottony cushion scale. It is feeding only on that species. Whereas the coccinellids, the related different species of the aphids, they are feeding. Did you got it? Banukumar, did you got? Okay, then next I will be moving on to the second, that is the next topic, that is the parasites. So in general, parasite is a general term. So it may be parasite of the other living organism or it may be parasite of the insect. Okay, so the word parasite is a general term. So next, moving on to the definition of the parasite. So many times when I was giving the definition of the predator itself, I have given some of the characters for the parasite also. So parasite, the first you have is it is an organism which lives and feeds internally or externally on other organism. So parasite means it mainly depends on the host for the purpose of food plus the shelter. Whereas in case of the predator, they are depending only for the purpose of the food and not on for the purpose of the shelter. That is the one thing. And also you can see here, I have mentioned here, either they feed internally or externally. For example, take ourselves, human being itself or the man itself. We have both ecto and the endoparasite. Take the head loss. So what it is doing? It is staying on outside our body and it is sucking the blood. So that is the one way I can just tell you for the externally. Internally means we have the flatworms. Many worms are there in our body. So they are living internally. So we have the parasites which feeds externally and also internally. So that is what any organism. So here, as I told you, the parasite is a broad term. So any organism, here I'm not talking about the insects only. So it may be a tapeworm or any other thing. Okay, so any organism which lives and feeds either externally or internally on another organism. That is the first point in case of parasite. So then what is the next point? So always you know that the parasites are smaller and the single parasite complete its life cycle on a single host. Unlike in case of the predator, they need more number of the individuals for the completion of the life cycle. But here you can see the parasites are smaller and they complete the life cycle, entire life cycle on a single host. Then here they do not kill the host, but here it is not doing with an insect. So here the head loss is there, but it is not killing us. It is only sometime it will trouble us. That is what you can see here. But if you look into the other insect parasite, they are killing the host gradually. So that is what the difference with a general parasite and an insect parasitoid. Usually does not kill the host. That is why I am adding the term usually does not kill the host. So next you have is the parasite shows the greater specialization in the feeding. Okay, so that means if they are feeding on a particular group of the insects, they attack only that group. And if they are feeding only on the egg stage, means that is they are attacking only egg. larval stage, pupal stage. So based on that, we have the egg parasitoid, larval parasitoid, pupal parasitoid. That is what you can see. The parasites show a greater specialization in the feeding. And the last you have is a species of the parasite usually attacks a particular species or closely related group of the host. So this is a common in case of the parasite. So that is what I told you. The predators, they don't have an intimacy with their prey. Okay, close or the sentiments they don't have. But whereas the parasites, they have the close association or the intimacy with their host. So that is why you can see here they are attacking only particular group or closely related group of the insect. My voice is not audible?
Audible, ma'am.
It is audible, no? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, that is the definition of the parasite. So what you write the definition for the parasite is that a parasite is any organism which feeds and lives either externally or internally on the another organism. And it completes all its life stages on a single host, and it does not kill the host when it is feeding, usually. Okay, and you can see they have the greater specialization in feeding. So this is what the definition of the parasite will give you. So next term you have is the parasitism. So what is the meaning of the parasitism? It is an act or the phenomena of obtaining the nourishment at the expense of the host to which the parasite is attached. So that means parasitism is nothing but it is an act of the phenomena. That means the host is getting benefit by getting the nutrients, that is mainly by food and also the shelter. So obtaining the nourishment at the expense because it is in the host, okay, to which the parasite is attached. So this is what is called as a parasitism. So next you have is the actual parasite. So here we are not dealing with the parasite. We are dealing only with the parasitoids. So then what is the parasite? So here you can see an insect parasite of an arthropod is called as a parasitoid. So many times they will ask you write the difference between the parasite and the parasitoid. So the students many times I will tell you, but they do not listen and they do the mistake. So parasite, it is any organism. So an insect parasite is called as a parasitoid. That should be there in your mind. Okay. So when you are referring parasitoid means it is referring only to the insect parasites. Okay. And parasitic, it is only the parasitic means here you can see only immature stages are there on the host. But adult, it is a free living. So that you have to remember. So parasite is only parasitic only in the immature stages and it will not kill the host immediately. Okay. So they kill the host gradually. Okay. So that is the destroy its host in immature stages. It is a gradual. So by the time it completes, the parasite completes its life cycle, the host will be killed. So that is what happens in case of the parasitoid. And here, third point, you can see the destroy kills its host in process of the development, and adult is a free living. And insect attacked by the parasite is called as a host. That you have to remember. For the parasite predator, it is a prey. And for the parasitoid, it is a host. So that is what. So parasitoid means an insect parasite is referred as a parasitoid. And it is a parasitic only in the immature stages. And it kills the host gradually during the process of the development. And adult is a free living. So that you remember. And insects which is attacked by the parasitoid is called as the host. Next, coming to there are two different types of the parasitoid. From here onwards, I will be dealing only with the parasitoid, not a parasite. So when you come to the parasitoid, whenever you are reading, okay, you will be always come across with the two terms, that is the idiobuoyant and the coinobuoyant parasitoid. So what is the difference between the two? For example, I will not directly go to the whatever I have written. So look into these photographs. Okay, here one side you have the 4 and other 3. So what is the difference is that? So here you can see this is a parasite female. So which is attacking the particular stage, and what it will do before laying the egg. So it will paralyze. So that means it will not kill. It makes it inactive and it keeps it fresh by paralyzing. So it will paralyze. So after that, there will be no growth. Okay. So after paralyzing, when it becomes immobile, then you can see the female will be laying the egg. Okay. So you can see the eggs. So the eggs will hatch and they develop and they go for the pupation. So here you can see this is the first stage where you can see the caterpillar is fresh, eggs of the parasite. So these eggs, upon hatching, they feed on the body fluid. And at the end, you can see only the skin of the caterpillar. So this is what is called as a parasitoid. So during the process of the development, they kill the host only during the process of the development. Only by the end, when it is ready for the pupation, you can see it has exhausted all the food that is available. So this is the one we call it as an idiobiont parasitoid. So that means whatever the host that is attacked by the parasitoid is not allowed to grow further. The growth is arrested. That is what the idiobiont. So that is there in the definition. Prevent the further development of the host after initially immobilizing it. So one example I am giving you, it is a Goniosus nephantidis, okay, which is coming under the Bethelidae Hymenoptera, and it is mainly attacking the larvae of the coconut black-headed caterpillar, which is a major pest. Okay, so this is an idiobiont parasitoid. Then what about the coenobiont parasitoid? So here you can see this is the female again. Okay, so after mating, the female here it is selecting the first instar, first or the second instar. They do not prefer the third or fourth or fifth or any instar is not preferred. They attack the early instar, that is the first instar. Okay, but here they are not paralyzing. Keep it in mind, they are not paralyzing, but the female will lay the egg. So in this, whatever the example I have given you, many females, so that is the Cotacea agglomerata, many females of the Cotacea will come and lay the egg. Okay, the one which is successful, that will be developed inside. Okay, you can see here, the female is attacking the early instar, but they are not paralyzing it, but they are allowing to grow. So you can see here, this caterpillar, for example, you can see here, it is attacking a caterpillar and it has laid the egg, which is of the first instar. But what it is doing, the eggs of the parasitoid are inside the caterpillar, but still you can see here it is feeding and it is growing. So that means the coenobiont parasitoid, they do not kill the host, but they develop while feeding upon it. You can see here, the caterpillar is allowed to go, that is the host is allowed to grow, and also inside the parasitoid is also growing. But what is this photograph is saying? But whether it is developing internally or whether it is developing externally, for the pupation, always they come out because they cannot go for the pupation inside. So all these from the caterpillar, whatever the immature stages are there, they are the late instars of the Cotacea. They are coming out for the purpose of the pupation. So here you can see when they go for the complete pupation, you can see the dead body of the caterpillar, and these are the pupae or the cocoons of the same Cotacea. So attacking in the first instar, allowing to grow. By the end, it is at the late instar. They come out and they go for the pupation outside, and by the time you can see the caterpillar is killed. So this is called as the coenobiont parasitoid. So allow the host to continue develop and feeding upon it. So it will be feeding and allow the host to grow. Okay, so that is the Cotacea agglomerata, so which is attacking the cabbage butterfly, which is a pest on the cabbage. So these are the many times you get confused. So here it is an ectoparasite. Ecto means out or outside. Okay, it is an endoparasite, remain inside. Okay. So these are the different two types of the parasitoid you come across the insect. Next here you have is, so that is what the definition of the parasite and the parasitoid, and the two types of the parasitoid mainly based on the how they are attacking and killing the host. So next I will be telling you about the what are the adaptations in the insect parasite. Please remember students, here they don't have any structural adaptations for the parasitic life. Only they have is the ovipositor. They have very well developed ovipositor because they know they do not need any mandibulate type of the mouth parts. They do not need a good wing or anything is not needed. So because of that only here the structures So it is a common, when it is an ectoparasite, usually we have the idiobind, but it is not a compulsion. Okay, idiobind may be ecto or endo. Okay, options are there. Again, in that also you have the many examples. Okay, so it can be ecto or it can be endo. Okay, boy?
Baswannappa, off your mic.
Okay, so next I will be telling you. So what are the adaptations? So in parasitoids, you don't have this structural adaptation only with respect to the ovipositor. But so they have to identify the host. So for that, they have the well-developed sensory organs that you have to remember. The first one is the specialization of the site of predilection. So what is the meaning of the predilection? So here I'll be telling what are the adaptation mainly for the parasitic life. So that is, I will be telling you. So specialization in the site of the predilection. So what is this predilection? So whenever you look into the parasites, okay, so if it is a caterpillar, they prefer only the particular part of the caterpillar. So they are not preferring the head and the thorax. They prefer the abdomen. And again, when they are preferring the abdomen, they may lay the eggs outside or they may lay the egg inside. Okay, so that selection is there in case of the parasites. So that is called as the site of predilection. So a particular species of a parasite usually attack its host on a particular portion of its body. And this is called as the site of predilection. It is a very specific, okay? So if you want to search the egg, so in the previous, you can see here what it is doing. It is laying egg only on the abdomen. Okay, it is an external, but it is not, anyway, it is not preferring because the head is hard. When the larva egg is hatched and the young ones come out, so it will not get anything in the head and the thorax. Always it is there because it is all, if you take the thorax, only muscles are there. So, and it is mainly meant for the flight and you have many things are there. And also it is a hard portion. As you know that the abdomen will be more soft and it will be delicate where immediately after hatching, they can pierce the mouth parts and they can start feeding. So that is known to the parasitoid, and that is how they will be selecting the particular portion, or either externally or internally they lay the egg. So that is called as the site of predilection. And depending upon the site of predilection, you can see here a parasite is classified as an ectoparasite and the endoparasite. So then what is the ectoparasite and the endoparasite? So students, don't simply behind the definition. Try to understand what is the meaning in the term, because the term itself will tell you everything about the definition. So you try to understand what is the ecto. So you know that ecto means outside. So the parasite is living outside. So that means ultimately the eggs will be laid outside. So that is called as an ectoparasite. The parasite which lives on the outside of the body of the host is called as an ectoparasite. Then you look there, the mother parasite lays the eggs either directly on the surface of the host itself or nearby, so that after that hatching, they can little bit crawl and reach the host. So that is what the term. The parasite lays the eggs either directly on the host or it may be near the host. And the parasite larvae attach themselves to the outer surface of the body and obtain the nourishment by pushing the mouth part. So that is what the ectoparasite. So here, in this photograph, you can see here the parasite, it is living outside the body. So the eggs may be laid directly on the host or nearby, but after hatching, they only pierce the mouth parts into the host body and they feed on the body fluid. So that is what is called as an ectoparasite. So for that, I'm giving you the example of the head louse, okay, what you have, and the flea. So you have seen the flea insect, which is also minute and which is responsible for the plague transmission. And we have the ichneumonids. Many of the ichneumonids are there, which are also ectoparasite. Next, coming to the endoparasite. Endo means it is inside. So the parasite is living inside the body of the host. But please remember, when it is an endoparasite, it is not a compulsory that the female should lay the egg inside. It is not a hardened rule. The female should lay the inside. The egg should not be always laid inside the host. There is an option. The eggs may be laid outside or inside or the host that is fed by the host itself. Okay, whatever the host plant you have, the eggs may be laid on the host plant. For example, here I will take that is the Bombyx mori. Everyone you know about the silkworm. Okay, so it is having a one parasitoid, that is a oozy fly. Everyone you know that belongs to the family Tachinidae. So what it will do? Many times you have seen they give the mulberry for feeding. So what the female will do? It may lay egg directly onto the caterpillar, or it may be near the caterpillar, or it may lay the eggs onto the mulberry leaves. So when the leaves are taken inside by the caterpillar, the egg also enter inside. So you may be having how the egg is not damaged when it is eating the leaf. So the eggs are so that the whatever the corine or the outer covering of the egg is there, so it is very thick and it is not damaged. It is all the adaptation. So that is what you can call it as a endoparasite. So endoparasite is the one which enters the body of the host and feeds from the within. Okay, so even if you take them, again I am giving the example of the Bombyx mori. So if the eggs have been near the caterpillar, so what the egg of the parasitoid will do? So it will hatch, crawl, make a hole into the caterpillar, and then they get inside. Okay, so then they allow the larva to grow. Again, at the time of the preparation, again they make hole and they come out. So this is all the thing what you find in case of the endoparasite. So they lay the eggs usually in the tissue of the host directly, or within the, sometimes outside the material which the host eats. So eggs are swallowed by the host accidentally along with the substrate. So this is the best example for the endoparasite you have is the tachinid. So that is based on the site of predilection. So you can see here the parasitoid, you are classing them as a ecto and the endoparasite. I think so you have got the difference between the what the ecto and the what the endo. So next I'll be moving to the second adaptation that you find in case of the parasitoid. Many times you'll be getting when you are going through any of the books relating to the predators and the parasitoid, the parasitoids are more exploited in the pest management compared to the predator. This is the reason why you can just give. Here you can see the insects are having, you know that the 4 stages are there: egg, larva, pupa, and the adult. Okay, all the stages are attacked by the parasites. Okay, so here you can see all the stages of the insects are liable for the attack by the parasite. Here, and also you can see here, all you may be having the different hundreds, 2000 species of the parasitoid, but they are attacking only particular stage of the insect. For example, here I have given you the one example where the parasite complex of the black-headed caterpillar, that is the Opicina arenosella, which is a pest in the coconut. Here, I am taking all the 3 stages here because the adult stage is not having the parasite. So here you can see the egg stage of the CBHC. It is in short, it is written as a CBHC. You can see here it is attacked by the Trichogramma. So Trichogramma means in the last course you have studied, it is exclusively egg parasitoid. I think so you had a same egg question in your midterm exam also. So the Trichogrammative is the family which are only particular to the egg stages, and also they attack only the Lepidoptera. So they are not attacking the other Hymenoptera or others. Again, you have the exceptional which are attacking the other species also, but majority of the Trichogrammatids, they are preferring only the eggs of the Lepidoptera. So that what the selection you have in case of the Trichogrammatidae or in the parasitoid. So Trichogramma minutum, there are different species of the Trichogramma there. One example for here I'm giving you, it is attacking the egg stage. Next, coming to the larval stage. So again, you can see in the larval stage, you can classify that stage into 3. One is the early larval instar, that is the first or second instar. Mid larval, that is the 3rd and 4th. And the next you have is the 5th and 6th as a late larval instar or the prepupal stage. You know that when the caterpillar is in the last instar, it will not feed or it is concentrating only towards the going for the pupation. That we call it as a prepupal stage. So it is all the preparation it is making for the going for the pupation is called as a prepupal stage. So here you can see the early larval stage is attacked by the Apantellus. Okay, so it is a parasitoid. The mid-larval stage, it is attacked by the Microbrachon brevicornis. And the late instar or the prepupal stage is attacked by the Goniosus nephantidis. So this is what the specialization in the stage of the host attacked by the parasitoid. This bracon, for the goniosus, if you give the early instar larvae of the coconut black-headed caterpillar, it will not lay the egg. You give 100,000, but it will not lay the egg in the early and the mid larva. It prefers only the late larval instar. So that is what you can see here. You may be having the doubt whether all these three you can get it on a single caterpillar. So it is optional how best they can compete. So always the early larval stage will be attacked by the appendalis. Later it is a mid larval stage, that is a microbracon coming and it is searching for the host. It depends upon the competition between the appendalis and the microbracon. So if it is appendalis is already grown up and it is able to defend the microbracon, so microbracon, if it lays the egg, so they will be destroyed. It is all the competition that you find in case of the insects also. So that is, and when you look into the pupal stage of the same caterpillar, that is attacked by the Trichospilus pupivora. Okay, it is preferring only the pupal stage. So this is called as the specialization in the stage of the attack. And here I am giving you another example, that is a nymphal adult parasitoid, that is Epiricania melanolica. Presently it is an Epipyrophus. So it attacks the nymphal stage and it continues and it is also attacking the adult. So it is in between. So because of that, we are giving it as a nymphal adult parasitoid. Attacks the nymph, continue and also kill in the adult stage. So that you find in case of the Pyrilla. So this is the third specialization. And the third, you have second one. The third you have is the sensory structure. So I had told you there are no structural adaptation that they need mainly is the sensory structure because they have to locate the host. How they locate? So recognition, the presence of its host is the most criteria or the important in case of the parasitoid. So here you can see the body of the host will be having a particular smell. So that attracts because the antenna, they are very well provided with the sensory structure. Main thing in the antenna also they have the sensory structure and also in the ovipositor also they are having the sensory structure and these are mainly used for locating the host. So one is from the odor that is coming from the that is the host body that is also act as a one for the attraction for the parasitoid and also the odor that is coming from the fecal matter. So what, for example, if you take the caterpillar feeds on the leaf of the any maize you can see, okay? When it feeds and it excretes, okay, some chemicals will be there in the fecal matter which will be known to the female parasite. So that is how you can see the chemical which that oozes out from the fecal matter of the caterpillar also act as an attraction for the female for the attacking. And another is the chemicals which are leaking from the plants after the damage by the host is also attracting. So in these three ways, the parasitoid is locating the host. One is the caterpillar after feeding on the host. So some chemicals will be oozed out. That is the one which is used by the parasitoid. And the second one is the chemicals coming out from the fecal matter. And another is the odor that is coming out from the host. These three are used for locating the host. And for that, they need a well sensory structure that you find in case of the antenna and sometimes in the ovipositor also. So locating the host by the, and also you can see the vibrations produced at the time of the feeding by the host. So this is not there in all, especially for example, if it is a stem borer. What happens when the stem borer, it is inside the stem and it can feel the presence in the, by staying outside. Okay, so what happens when the parasitoid come and stand on the any of the bark or any of the stem where it is having the caterpillar? So what happens in the feeding by the caterpillar or any host? So it produces some of the movement or the vibrations. So that vibration will be known to the parasitoid. So by staying outside itself, it inserts the ovipositor into the gap that is there and it lays the eggs onto the whatever the host that is inside. So that is what you can see. There is a lot of adaptations that you find, especially when it comes to the sensory structures, because they are able to identify the size of the egg, size of the caterpillar, because I told you, goniosus, when you are giving the early instar, it is not preferring only the late instar. That means it is able to identify the size and also each instars are having a particular chemicals that is oozing out from the body. where the fifth instar or the sixth instar, it may be having the different chemical composition when you compare to the early instar. So it is a very complicated thing. So that is how you can see here the parasitoids, they have the well-developed sensory structures. Okay. So these are the three structural adaptations, not general adaptations that you find in case of the parasitoid. One is the site of predilection, and the second one is the stage of the attack, and the third one is the sensory structures. And next, I'll be going on to the major group of the insect parasites. So whenever it is an insect parasite as a major group, always the credit goes to the order. Which one? Can you tell me? Which order is having the major parasites?
Hymenoptera.
Parasites. Orders nenpidava, insect orders. What are the major orders at the end you have studied in your course?
Hymenoptera.
Hymenoptera, okay. Hymenoptera, Coleoptera, Diptera. Okay, so all Lepidoptera you have, but whenever it is a parasite, always it is a major which are exploited in the pest management is the members belonging to the Hymenoptera. Okay. Okay, members which are belonging to the order Hymenoptera. So next preference is the Diptera. Next you have is the Lepidoptera. So because of that, at least first I'll take the order Hymenoptera. Okay. So coming to the order Hymenoptera, so you have to at least remember the 10 families under the order Hymenoptera, because in many of the exams, what they will do, they will ask you write at least 5 families or 10 families from the Hymenoptera which are doing the job of the parasitoid. Under such conditions, so you have to write the family with an example. So because of that only here, I'm according to the family, I'm just giving you the example. So always, and it is a Hymenoptera, 2 families are very much common. One is the Braconidae and the another is the Ichneumonidae. Okay, so they don't have the common like others. They are called as the Braconids and they are called as the Ichneumon flies. Many times we get confused between the Braconidae and the Ichneumonidae because many times they are sharing the common host. Okay, that is one that where I'll be just telling you what is the difference between the Braconidae and the Ichneumonidae. The first difference is the size. Usually the braconids are small in size and they are stout. Stout andre, you know what is the meaning of this stout. So they are small and stout. Whereas in case of the Ichneumonidae, they are not stout. They are slender, long, and they are not stout. So that you have to differentiate. So in this photograph only, you can see here, they are small and they are stout. But here you can see they are long and they are slender. That is a general appearance difference. And many of these braconids, they are the dark or the dull colored. Okay, so here also it is a variation is there with respect to the coloration. And next, coming to the next character, that is the abdomen. So here you can see the combined length of the abdomen, that is the abdomen length is same as the combined length of the head and the thorax. You can just see in this photograph. So the length of the abdomen is equal to, not exactly, don't look into the mathematics here, almost the combined length of the head and the thorax is equal to same as that of the abdomen. But here it is not. So you can see here, this is the head and this is the thorax. This entire thing is the abdomen. So the length of the abdomen is not same. It is longer than the collective length of the both are having sensory structures are there both in the ecto and the endoparasitoid. Both are having them because whether it is the ectolife or whether it is the endolife, they have to locate the host. So because of that, so almost all the parasitoids, they have the well-developed sensory structures. Okay. So here, the length of the abdomen is longer than the combined length of the head and the thorax. That is one. Next, moving on to the ovipositor. So ovipositor, you can see here, it is a short. Okay. And it is shorter than, you can see into the size of the abdomen. So it is shorter than the length of the abdomen. So what about these ecnomonid? So here I'm just giving a ecnomonid which is having very long ovipositor. Ovipositor, you know, it is an egg-laying apparatus. Okay, so which is the egg will pass through this ovipositor and eggs will be laid. Okay, so that is what the ovipositor. So here you can see in this ecnomonid, what is the length here? So this is the where you can just follow my pointer here. So this is the ovipositor again turning back and it is laying the egg. So that means usually ecnomonids are having the long ovipositor, longer than the combined length of the entire body. So that is the character. But anyway, you take any species, all the ecnomonids are having a long ovipositor. So that is the next character for the ovipositor. So what is the another thing? So whenever you collect the braconid and the ecnomonid, look for the character in the forewing. So in the forewing, you can see here, in case of the braconid, so it will be having only one recurrent vein. Recurrent vein here is nothing but the cross vein. Okay. Here, in case of the braconid, between the medial, radial, and the median vein, so they have only one recurrent vein, or that is also absent. 0 or 1 that you find in case of the braconid. But in Ectomonidae, it is 2. Okay, you can see here the recurrent veins here, that is the cross veins. They are 2 in number, never less than 1 or 1 or less than 1. So that is the major difference. So whenever you collect, look for this character, then definitely you can differentiate the Braconidae and the Ichneumonidae. So this is one of the important taxonomic character. So what are the hosts that is attacked by the Braconidae? So you have to remember all these 5 characters to differentiate the Braconidae and the Ichneumonidae. So now I am giving you the host range of the Braconidae. So by Braconidae, you can see they function both as the ecto and the endoparasitoids of the several insects. They have the very broad host range. You can see here, they are attacking the members of the Lepidoptera, all the major orders. Lepidoptera, Colio, Diptera, and the Hymenoptera are their host. Apart from that also, you can see Heteroptera, Homoptera, they are coming under the Hemiptera. You can just write Hemiptera. And another most important thing you have to remember about the Braconidae is that, so always they pupate in a silken cocoon outside the host body, whether it is an ecto or whether it is an endoparasite. Always, if it is an endoparasite also, they come out and they go for the pupation in a silken cocoon. That is the character of the Braconidae. Next, I will be just giving one by one the example under the Braconidae. Here, I will be giving 4 or 5 because you may be feeling, why madam is giving so many examples? Because if I tell 3 or 4, at least you will remember one, whichever it is possible or suitable for respective individual. So remember at least one of it. Okay, I don't know from which you may be getting the example. First one you have is the, here you can see I have written Apanthalis in the bracket with the equal sign. So don't get confused. It is the earlier generic name. Now it is the Cotacea. So Cotacea flavipes or the Apanthalis flavipes are the same, but now present genera where they have placed is the Cotacea. So Cotacea flavipes, it is the one is the, you have to remember what is the gregarious. You may be feeling what is the meaning of the gregarious. So gregarious is nothing but the more number of individuals are developing on a single caterpillar. Then if it is only one, you call it as a solitary. So again within the parasite, you have the gregarious and the solitary parasite. Solitary means only one individual develop on a host. Gregarious means in a group, many number of the individual will develop on a host. So it is a gregarious endoparasitoid. So here you can see the female is attacking the caterpillar and she is laying the egg. They develop internally and you can see for the pupation they are coming out. So it is a gregarious endoparasitoid of the pyralid. That is, and the noctuid stem borer. We have many stem borer. This is the one Chilopartalis in case of the sugarcane. Sacchariphagus, it is in case of, this is in the maize. Sacchariphagus means it is in case of the sugarcane. Diatria saccharilis, it is also in the sugarcane. So mainly they are preferring to attack the stem borer. So that is what the stem borer in maize and the stem borer in case of the sugarcane. At least you have to remember what are their hosts. Okay. Next example, just now I have given you Cotacea of the Apanthalis gomoratus, which is a gregarious endoparasite. So Apanthalis flavipes is a, so that is, it is a gregarious endoparasite You can see Cotacea glomerata is also a gregarious endoparasite. It is mainly attacking the cabbage butterfly. So this is the cabbage butterfly, which is a common. These are the eggs. They attack the early instars, allow them to grow. So you can see she is laying the egg, allow them to grow, and then go for the pupation. Then you have is the another within the Cotacea, you have one example, that is a Plutillae. So always Cotacea Plutillae, it is an asked example. Okay, so what is it? It is a it attacks the larvae of the diamond backbone. So only the first instar, because only 4 instars are there in case of the DBM. So it prefers first, if not the second, but they do not prefer the third instar. So it is a solitary endoparasite. Please remember, always don't have in your mind that Cotacea means it is an endoparasite, which is a gregarious. Again, within the Cotacea, we have the solitary or the gregarious. So always remember, for the solitary endoparasite, it is a Cotacea Plutillae, which is attacking the larvae of the diamond backbone, that is the Plutillae xylostella. Plutilla xylostella. And how you can identify if you are coming from the cabbage growing area, okay, always the DBM will be there on a crop. So cabbage or the cauliflower. So here you can see, as I told you, they prefers to attack the first or the second instar. So by the end of when the larva is about to dead, you can see here, this is a dead larvae of the DBM. Just beside the DBM larvae, so which is dead, you will be finding a small pupate. It's not too big, it is very small. Around 3 or 5 mm maximum you can find it. Okay, so just beside the dead larvae of the DBM, you will be finding a single cocoon, because it is a solitary endoparasite. Okay, so this, if you just collect it and keep it, you will be getting the adults of the Cotacea Plutillae. Next you have is the Bracon brevicornis. It is an ectoparasite. Okay, it is an ectoparasite and it is a gregarious. You can see here the larvae is paralyzing the last instar larvae of the coconut blackheaded, and it has laid the egg. So they hatch, develop, and this is the early instar, this is the late instar, and this is where you can see they go for the construction of the silken cocoon. So this is a Bracon brevicornis. So remember this also, it is a common example. And another you have is the Bracon hebeter. Many times we advise the release of the Bracon brevicornis, but not the hebeter. So what is the negative part of the Bracon hebeter is that it is attacking the rice moth larvae. Because rice moth we are rearing in the laboratory for rearing many of the parasitoids and the predators. But during the process of when you are mass multiplying the rice moth, always you will be having the problem of the Bracon hebeter. So many times we lose the culture of the rice moth because of the Bracon hebeter. So there it becomes the problem. But outside the rearing, when it is attacking the Crambidae or the members belonging to the Pyralidae, so they belong to that means Lepidoptera only, Noctuidae, okay, Tortoisidae, and all Gellichidae. All these are the families belonging to the moth families. Okay, so it is an ectoparasite and it is a gregarious. Negative point is only during the rearing of the Coursera rice moth in the laboratory, it will be a problematic. Another you have is the Chilonus blackburni. Okay, many times this is the only example for the egg larval parasitoid. So because during your course time, so I am not giving any other example, only this Chilonus blackburni example for the egg larval parasitoid. So what is the meaning of the egg larval parasitoid? I think so for this, here in this photograph, you can see here, this is the female. They don't have the male in their progeny. Okay, the female, after when it comes out from the pupa, immediately as they don't have it is a parthenogenesis. So the female immediately she is ready for the egg laying. So here you can see the female, she is laying the egg into her eggs into the egg of here whatever it is there, it is a Coursera eggs. So what happens here? During the egg stage, they are not affecting the host. They are allowing the larva of the host to grow, and the larva usually it is a caterpillar. The caterpillar, when it is feeding on the yolk, the eggs of these parasitoid, they enter into the body of the caterpillar. Okay, and they allow the larva to grow here also. And by the end, the larva is about to go for the pupation. It will come out and go for the pupation. So that is what the egg larval parasitoid. I think so in the last day. So in this photograph, I can just explain you what is the egg larval parasitoid. So this is the host egg. Okay. These are the parasitoid eggs. So just now in the photograph, you have seen the female is laying the egg into the egg of the another host. So after what happens, the egg of the parasitoid, they do not hatch. So they will be in a dormant condition. So that you can just say it as a dormant or the inactive condition. It will not hatch. So when the host egg after hatching, so you know that inside there is an embryo is there. Larva will be developing inside. So mainly the yolk will be there. So what the host egg will be, embryo will do. So it will, when it is feeding on the yolk, the eggs of the parasitoid also enter into the larvae of the host. You can see here, this is the host egg developed into the larva. So you can see the egg, red markings, what you have, they are the eggs of the parasitoid. So after when the caterpillars hatches and come out, then the host egg will hatch. So here you can see they are allowing the larva to grow. Okay. So where the larva of the parasitoid will hatch, feed on the body fluid, and at the time of the pupation, they again come out, and by the time the larva will be killed. So this is called as a egg larval parasitoid. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next another you have is the larval pupal parasitoid. Here also I'll just solve your problem. Larval pupal parasitoid means it is attacking the late instar. Okay, so you can see here it is a matured host larvae which is ready for the pupation. So the whatever the female parasite, so because the fifth instar or the late instar is having a particular smell which is attracting the female parasitoid, so she will come lay the egg into the caterpillar. So it is not killing the caterpillar. So it is allowing the larva to go for the pupation. So after when the host has gone for the complete pupation, next you can see the egg of the parasitoid will develop into the pupae and feed inside. And instead of coming, whatever the emergence, instead of coming any of the Lepidopteran outside, you will find large number of the adult parasitoids will come out. So they make a hole and all the adults will come out from the pupae. So you will feel that pupa will be healthy. Only after when the parasitoid adults will come, you will come to know that it is a parasitized. So it will be intact. So this is what the larval pupal parasitoid. Okay. So this is the Chilonus black pearly, which is a braconid. It is an egg larval parasitoid. It is mass multiplied in the laboratory on the eggs of the rice moth. Okay, and it is released into the field mainly in case of the potato. Okay, because it is attacking mainly on the potato tuber moth. You know what is a tuber? So it is a pest tuber moth. Whatever you have the potato tuber moth. So it is a pest both in the storage and also in the field condition. So in the godowns, whenever or in the warehouses, whenever they store the potatoes, always they will be having the problem of the potato tuber moth. So you release this Chilonus black burning both in the field and also in the storage where you have stored the potato, because always whenever you buy the potatoes, sometimes you'll be having the caterpillar. So it will manage it. Okay. And also in case of the cotton, also it is released for the control of the bollworms. And another you have is the hellula, which is a major head borer in case of cabbage, and the Plutelaxella in case of the onion in the cabbage. So these are the it is not an idiobiont. Okay, so egg larval means, so it is a coinobiont. So it is attacking the egg stage, allowing the larva to grow. By the end, when the larva is about to go for the pupation, it is not allowing it. Okay, so the parasitoid is coming out, going for the pupation. Here, the caterpillar will be killed, because you can see in the photograph I had shown you. So it was done manually. When first insta, second insta, third insta, they are not killing, they are allowing it to go. So these, whether it is egg larval or the larval pupal parasitoid, they all are the coinobiont. So they are not idiobiont. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. So these are the example for the Braconidae. So whatever the common examples, please you have to remember is the Bracon brevicornis, you remember, and then Chilonus blackburni for the egg larval parasitoid. And another two examples I have told you about the Cotacea plutella. So Cotacea plutella is a solitary endoparasitoid that you remember. Another is the Cotacea flavus, which is a endoparasite, but it is a gregarious. Next, moving on to the family Ichneumonidae. Here I am just telling you the examples. So here also you can see they act as a both ecto and the endoparasitoid. So again you can see they are attacking the larvae of the many of the Lepidoptera, Diptera, Polio, and the Hymenoptera. By this time you should be very, I think so, don't waste time. If you have not read the taxonomy properly, please read it, okay? Because I am not telling what is Lepidoptera, what is Diptera. You should suddenly in your mind that should come. So what is the Lepidoptera, what is Diptera, Coleoptera, and the Hymenoptera? So all the major orders, larvae will be attacked by the Ichneumonidae. So I'll be just giving 3 examples here. As I told you, especially in case of the Ichneumonidae, they have the special character. So here you can see, this is a tree, okay? And here you can see there is a wood borer inside. Can you identify where the wood borer is there? But the insect can identify, because when the caterpillar is eating inside, or whether it is a grub of the Coleoptera, if it is eating inside, ultimately it pushes out the fecal matter outside. So that smell will attract and it will come and land on the tree trunk. So now she has to lay the egg. So what she will do, she will come and settle there, sit silently, so that she can feel the movement of the whatever the host that is inside. There is also some technique is there in case of the host also. When this parasitoid comes and lands here, the host also feels that there is a parasitoid. Sometimes she also stops feeding. Okay, that is all. Protection is there, but then also the parasite will attack the larvae. So here, after locating the position of the larvae, you can see here, this is the entire thing is the ovipositor. It is highly sclerotized part. It will not break. Okay, so she pierces the ovipositor into the gap that is there in the bark, and the eggs will be laid either external outside or inside, depending upon what is the nature of the parasite. Then that will be killed. So this is the only thing that you find, especially in case of the Ichneumonids. Here I am giving you the example, the common examples you have to remember. This is the common, you get it in the nature. That is a Campolotus chloridae. Okay, so this is a larval parasitoid. Mainly it is attacking the Helicoverpa, Armigera, and the Spodoptera. If you find such kinds of those, so these are very common. Whenever you go to the field in cabbage ecosystem and all, these are very common. Brown color, having the spots, black spots. Okay, this is Campolotus chloridae, where you can see it is having the well-developed ovipositor. It mainly attacks the larva of the Helicoverpa and the Spodoptera. Then here you have is the Xanthopimpla punctata. Punctata means it is having a spots. So it is a solitary and it is a polyphagous. You should know the difference. Solitary means only one will be developing on the host. Polyphagous means the host range is very wide and it is a pupal parasitoid. Solitary, pupal, and it is a polyphagous. That means it is attacking the pupal stage of its host. So mainly it is attacking the pupae of the Java stem borer, that is the Chilopartilis, and other stem borers, whatever they are, especially in the cereals and the sugarcane. Mainly we have stem borers in the cereal ecosystem. You take the jawar, you take the maize, you take the any of the thing, okay, which is coming under the category of the cereals. They have many stem borers and they are attacking the stem borers, okay, of the different crop plant. Next here you have is many times again in the books you get the Isotema javensis. Isotema is the old name. Now it is the Gambroidis javensis. Okay, so it is the larval parasitoid of the top shoot borer. So that mainly you get it in the sugarcane ecosystem, because in the sugarcane we have the early stem borer, internode borer, top shoot borer. So it is only particular to the top shoot borer, that is a Circophagous species. especially in the sugarcane and the rice ecosystem. Okay, so the common you have to remember. So all these are very important. Okay, I can't say which one is important. Campylortis chloridae, that is a Gammaridis javensis and Xanthopimpla punctata. So these are the example. Many of the ichneumonids are the endoparasitoid, okay, and only few are the ectoparasitoid. And here you can see another example under the ichneumonidae. So that is the Diategma semiclassum. So this is especially you find in the that is the cabbage ecosystem. So here you can see it is attacking the last instar, that is the fourth instar. For there it is having only the 4 instar, attacking the 4 instars, fourth instar, you can see it is not inactivating. So it is only going, lifting the caterpillar, and you can see parasitoid is laying the egg, and it is allowing the larva to grow. So you have, instead of getting the DBM adults, you are going to get the adult of the diadegma. So it is also a larval pupal parasitoid. Okay, it makes a small holes, and many of the, it is a gregarious endoparasitoid. Okay, this is a braconid. Next family you have is the Trichogrammatidae. Whether I should continue or stop it here, I'll just cover this family. Okay. Coming to the third family, that is the Trichogrammatidae. As I told you, so it is the exclusive egg parasitoid. Okay, they are minute wasp, less than an mm. Okay, you might have studied last time. So where they belong to the smallest insect of okay, one is a Mimaridae and another is a Trichogrammatidae. They are exclusively egg parasitoid of the Lepidoptera. Then please try to remember the two characters, how you can identify the Trichogrammatidae. Only where it is required, I will be telling. One is the wings are not having any venation. But you can see here, these are the hairs. Okay, on the wings, you can see this is the forewing, and the hand wings have been reduced into small, narrow ribbon-like structure. The forewing and the hand wings, they don't have any venations, but only the hairs are arranged in the fashion of the rows. Okay, that is the one. And another you have to remember is the tarsi is 3-segmented. And also you should remember that there is a sexual dimorphism with respect to the male and the female, mainly with respect to the antenna. Okay, so the male antenna is a little bit different from the female antenna. Okay, here I'm just giving you the examples which are used in the different crop ecosystem. Only you can see here the right side of mine, it is having only the Lepidoptera. The Trichogramma achaeae, mainly it is attacking the eggs of the Castor semilupal, that is the Achaeogenethra. And Trichogramma australicum, it is more preferring the attacking the sugarcane seedling borer, that is the Chylo infuscatellus. Okay, that is why in case of the sugarcane, they are advising australicum. And then you can see Chilonis. So it is a wider host range, that is a Helicorpa, Chylopartellus, Chylo infuscatellus. It is released in the different ecosystem. In rice also you have, it is released in sugarcane, in cotton, everywhere it is released. And another you have is the Japonicum, especially in the rice ecosystem, we are advising the Japonicum. That is a stem borer in paddy, and the Trichoplusiani, which is a looper. For that, we are recommending the Japonicum. And finally, you have is the Pretiosum. It is mainly in the tomato ecosystem. It is, and also Trichoplusiani. So these are the different species of the Trichogrammatids, which are very much specific. But many times you have seen release of the Chilonis in different ecosystem, mainly in the sugarcane, cotton. Okay, but always when it is a paddy, we prefer to release Japonicum because it will perform better than the Chilonis. In cotton, Chilonis is doing better, and in case of the sugarcane, Australicum is doing the better. But Chilonis you can release in different ecosystem, but different species are performing the different percent parasitization in different host plants. Okay, so this is what you can see, the egg parasitoid Trichogramma. Okay, it is just checking whether egg is fresh because they prefer to lay only on the fresh eggs. The 2 days, 3 days old eggs are not less preferred. Only if the fresh eggs are preferred, it will measure the size, and based on that, she will deposit the number of the egg. If the egg is bigger, more number of the egg of the Trichogramma will be. If it is smaller, less number will be laid. So that is what you can see. The antenna is used for measuring the size of the egg. Okay. So these are the Trichogrammatids, so which are attacking. So this is the Helicorpa egg. Okay. So this is the butterfly egg. Okay, so this is one just I wanted to show you. Okay, so egg parasitoid. So another thing, by the time, so the eggs are turn black color. For example, here you can see when the egg is attacked, it is a fresh yellow color because the yolk is inside. After hatching, the trichogramma grow by using the yolk, whatever it is there. By the end time, when the trichogramma go for the pupation, the eggs will turn black color. Okay, so this stage is meant for the field release. Another 1 or 2 days, the adults will emerge, and because of that only, as they are very minute. So this is the black when the stage of the host eggs turn black color. This is the right stage which will be given for the release. Okay, so this is how you can see. These are the fresh eggs of the Coursera, and these are the eggs which are parasitized by that is the trichogramma. Okay, all the development you can see inside. Okay, so these are when you dissect out the egg early instars of the trichogramma, and under the microscope you can see where the larvae, that is the trichogramma, is developing into the egg. Okay, so all these stages. So this is the pupa where it is having the red eyes, and if you just disturb, you can get the pupae. Okay, I think so. With this, I will just complete some of the families under the order Hymenoptera. Because it is already time up. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. I am going little bit slow because this topic is very important.
Yes, ma'am. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ma'am.
ನಾನು ಸ್ಲೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಪ್ಪ. I think so other sections they have gone far ahead, but I am telling you very slowly by giving the examples. In case of larval pupal parasitoid, whether the ovipositor is directly inserted into the body of, it is direct because it is attacking why they are attacking the late instary, because many of the caterpillars or many of the insect, when they go for the pupation, they select the hidden places which will not be reachable by these parasitoid. So that is during the course of evolution, these parasitoid have learned that, so they have to attack the late instar so that when it go for pupation, easily it can grow. So that is the technique they have developed. So the larva inside only it is late, not outside. Okay, is it clear? Okay, students, take care. Bye. Any doubts? Okay, Gavish Ridesh, bye.